I used two programs in creating my magazine front cover, the first of which was Photoshop. Although it was used for editing all my images, there are other features which I utilised to help me create my front cover. The first thing I done once the software was open was create a new document, ensuring it was A4 international paper. The next step was to create the background of the front cover. I selected the brush tool, selected the colour black and painted the entire sheet. I then dragged on the image of my cover model and resized the image, holding down shift, and placed it accordingly. The next step was the placing of my masthead. I clicked the type tool, selected the colour and size of my font and typed and placed the title. I then rasterized the layer so that I could erase around the cover model's head so the masthead was partially covered by the cover model. This fits the codes and conventions of most magazines in all genres. I zoomed in holding Command plus so I could erase more precisely. The next step was the placement of my strapline. The strapline relates to my cover model. Just like the masthead, I input the text for my strapline. I then changed the colour of the text to black. I then selected the stroke effect to the text to make it more prominent on the magazine front cover. I selected the colour and size of the stroke. I then rotated part of the strapline and positioned it accordingly. The next step was creating the other half of the strapline. I typed the second half and then changed the colour of it. I repeated the same stroke effect and this is my finished strapline. Next was getting my barcode on the page. I dragged it from the relevant folder and resized it. Again holding shift and then placed it in the correct position. I then selected the ellipse tool so I could create a pug. I stretched it to the desired size. And used the colour picker tool to acquire the correct shade of blue. I then applied the stroke effect and placed some text inside the ellipse. I then dragged and resized the hand cursor Similarly to the masthead, I had to rasterize and erase parts of the image, and then I placed it inside the ellipse. I then used the second bit of software which was InDesign. I opened the program, created a new document and applied a 10mm bleed and slug. I then created a rectangle frame to input the image into. I then dragged the image from my desktop and resized it. I then input the text for the date and price of the magazine and positioned them underneath the masthead. The next step was typing and positioning my taglines. I wrote them, resized them, and placed them accordingly. I then clicked on the presentation button to view my finished magazine cover.